He's an unassuming man from Hong Kong who speaks no English. He's much sought after by Kung Fu students around the world, and yet he's never been anywhere except back to China, where he was born, at least until now. He's in Adelaide. And except for one small snippet in Hong Kong, he's never before appeared on television. And that's surprising because Kung Fu exponents have honoured him with an exceptional tag. The most powerful man in the world, pound for pound. Stephen Butler reports.
This man is regarded by some as the most powerful man in the world, and yet he wouldn't particularly stand out in any street anywhere. And these two highly trained martial arts experts are going to test his most powerful man tag. Both are built far more strongly, and you'd imagine wouldn't have much trouble pushing him around. And even a puny reporter thought he could push him over.
I'm not moving him.
And to rub salt into a chafed ego, all the while the visitor from Hong Kong was on 1 foot.
He only weighs about 130 pounds and he's about 5'8.5" inches tall. He's a really slight-built person, and yet he can generate power 4 or 5 times more than a person of his size.
He is Grandmaster Chu, the most senior Wing Chun Kung Fu teacher in the world. So not surprisingly, yours truly had little effect. So bring in the full team.
Well, there's 3 of us pushing now.
He's only fairly short in stature and build, but he can develop so much power. It's a unique, very rare opportunity to be able to train with somebody with Seagong's qualifications.
3 of us couldn't push him over, but contrary to the way it appears, the Grandmaster's power is not based on brute force, but on the secret of Wing Chun, relaxed muscles and an inherent life force.
What Grandmaster Chu is about to show is he's going to get both of you guys to hold your arms out like this, as hard as you can, all right? And all you have to do is do something, just by pivoting, he can send both of you guys flying.
Flying?
Yep, flying.
How far?
Very few feet, I would say.
Where does the Grandmaster get his power from?
Well, it's from his Wing Chun stance and his waist, and of course coordination of his whole body and arms and legs.
The Grandmaster is 53 years old, yet he's still extremely fit. The speed of his punches testifies to his fine conditioning.
He could punch 8-9 punches easily a second.
And in slow motion, this is how it looks. The Grandmaster has only one other stop, Sydney, before heading back to Hong Kong. His visit is a coup for Jim Fung because Grandmaster Chu has rejected requests to travel to other parts of the world, and it reflects Adelaide's high standing in Wing Chun Kung Fu.
Well, without Stephen Butler, Grandmaster Chu will give a public demonstration at the Wing.
In the martial art of Wing Chun, 53-year-old Chu Shong Tin is in Australia to teach his craft to anyone who wants to learn. He's been hailed as the Michelangelo of Kung Fu, and he's living proof that you're never too old to defend yourself.
Meet Grandmaster Chu Shong Tin. He's 53 years old, extremely fit, and he doesn't drink alcohol or smoke. He first learnt the art of Wing Chun in Hong Kong 35 years ago. One of his more junior classmates back then was the now legendary Bruce Lee. Grandmaster Chu is in Sydney to teach his form of Kung Fu, which completely discards the notion that power comes from brute strength.
其實咧，任何年齡嘅人都可以學詠春嘅。學咗詠春唔止話即係有一種防衛嘅力量，而且對身體嘅健康都有好大嘅幫助。
This is the Grandmaster's first trip overseas. He came here at the urging of former student Saifu Jim Fung, who runs the International Wing Chun Academies in Sydney, Adelaide and Brisbane. More than 20,000 Australians are now trained in Wing Chun, a third of them are women. And age is no barrier. The youngest student at present is 6 and the oldest is 79. According to the Grandmaster, it's a simple form of self-defence which can and should be learnt by the vulnerable and the physically weak.
I might enroll.